Minecraft New Nintendo 3DS Edition has had several updates throughout its life, which added several new features, blocks, and items. The latest 1.9 update is most directly similar to the 1.12 World of Color update, so comparing Minecraft 3DS to the latest Minecraft updates really isn't a fair comparison, as it does lack a lot of the modern features and items. However, in this video today, I would like to analyze and discuss potential future updates for Minecraft 3DS. I will be going over what could have been possible, as well as features that I feel like should have been included in the game in the first place with all the updates already. Before I get started, I just want to say that this version is discontinued. Everything said in this video is purely there just for some fun speculation on what Minecraft 3DS's future updates could hold. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Minecraft 3DS ended on the 1.9 update, which puzzled many. It doesn't really make sense to stop on 1.9 knowing that 2.0 would have theoretically been the next update. It almost seems like a 2.0 update was planned at some point, but was never released due to the numbering. Let's go ahead and get started with what Update 2.0 could have looked like if it were ever to release. Here's a list of features that I think should have been added in a 2.0 update. Firstly, we have 3D functionality. When this game first came out, 3D was promised by the developers, but it was mysteriously never released in any update. Likely reasons included popularity or performance limitations. However, it's still an interesting topic to discuss nonetheless. 3D would be the highlight feature of this update, as it is quite a grand feature despite not many players having the likelihood of actually using it. The next few features would be considered the quality of life section. Features that fit in this category include offhands and shields. It's surprising that these features don't exist in Minecraft 3DS whatsoever, but it does make sense as this game's content is pretty similar to past MCPE updates, which had neither feature either. Offhands would be extremely helpful, as they would let you hold shields as well as torches, arrows, or other items you wish to hold. Maps are always displayed on the touchscreen in this version, so offhands would obviously not have much of a use for that, but I still think they would be a nice thing to have in this version. Shields, on the other hand, would make sense even more, as sword blocking doesn't exist in this version, so shields would suffice for this missing feature. Moving on down the list, we have a few new blocks that would be added as part of this update. Blue ice, carved pumpkins, different wood types for buttons, trapdoors, and pressure plates, prismarine stairs and slabs, stripped logs, and smooth forms of all these stone variants. All of these blocks came from the 1.13 Aquatic Update, and the reason why I'm not just saying, oh, add everything from the Aquatic Update, is because Minecraft 3DS's entity limit is very low, and due to the increased amount of entities and oceans, the game would definitely suffer from it performance-wise. As for the blocks I mentioned earlier, these would offer a little more variety in some builds and the block selection as a whole, as the stone variants and the different wood variants of buttons, pressure plates, and trapdoors would make a small but significant enough difference to matter. Now, let's get into a few extra items and mobs that I would have liked to see in this version. Firstly, we have parrots. Parrots were added in the 1.12 World of Color update, so again, it's interesting as to why they aren't here. Parrots would offer another way to get a tameable animal in Minecraft 3DS, as only ocelots and dogs exist right now. Speaking of parrots, music discs are one of their favorite things, so why not add those too? This was a very interesting thing to leave out of Minecraft 3DS, and the only inference I can make as to why they aren't present is due to the render distance. At only 3 chunks, the range of being able to hear the disc playing would be very low, as the jukebox would be deloaded pretty quickly. Next up, we have piglins. Now yes, this is 1.16 content we're talking about here, but just adding piglins themselves would make the nether so much more interesting. Obviously, Minecraft 3DS doesn't have any of the new awesome stuff present in the nether update, so for the most part, it's mostly a bare wasteland with a bunch of netherrack hills and the occasional fortress. Adding piglins would make going to the nether more fun, rather than a chore just to get some loot and blaze rods. Not to mention, it would also make ender pearl gathering much easier, as getting endermen to spawn, or finding them for that matter, is pretty difficult. Of course, bug fixes and stability improvements would be present here in this update as well. So that's a wrap on the 2.0 update. This update, if it were to exist, would most likely add features to Minecraft 3DS that were either promised before or ones that should have been in the game in past updates. Now, let's move on to Update 2.1. Update 2.1 would most likely be a bug fix and stability update to further improve the 3D feature and to fix some glitches and stability from past updates. It may also add some skin packs or texture packs as well. I'm going to keep the duplication glitch, however, because despite it being game breaking, it has many uses in speedrunning. Now let's discuss Update 2.2, where things start to get interesting. Update 2.2, if possible, should focus directly on items for the Village and Pillage update. In this update, the redesigned villages would be present here, as well as the vast array of blocks and items present in that update, including bamboo, barrels, bells, blast furnaces, campfires, composters, grindstones, lanterns, lecterns, looms, scaffolding, different wood variants for signs, new slab variants, smokers, new stair variants, new wall variants, berry bushes, and new flowers. As for mobs, pandas, cats, foxes, trader llamas, and wandering traders will be present here as well. While content-wise, this seems like more than the 2.0 update I theorized earlier, but the 2.0 update mostly focuses on content that should have been added and promised, while this update mostly focuses on content that Minecraft 3DS would have never gotten regardless. So it seems like a lot, but most of it is blocks and items. Update 2.3 would most likely be a smaller update with the obvious stability improvements, including a few new blocks and items. Firstly, the remaining features from the Village and Pillage will be here, as 2.2 was already a pretty substantial update. Raids, pillagers, ravagers, crossbows, suspicious stews, new banner patterns, the new enchantments to go along with the crossbow, new textures for dyes, and finally leather horse armor. Of course, I can't forget about pillager outposts either, which would be the highlight of this update along with raids. Update 2.4 would most likely be like 2.1, including stability improvements, and with the potential of having some new skin packs and texture packs. Finally, the last update I'm going to discuss in this video is the potential for a 2.5 update, which would include online multiplayer and world sharing locally and online. Yes, this is very wishful thinking. Online multiplayer is most likely not even possible on this version considering its heavy use on the new 3DS and new 2DS resources. But still, this video is not meant to accurately predict anything, as I've already mentioned. This version is discontinued. Of course, online would be an excellent addition, and it would personally be my #1 most hoped feature in this edition. Sharing worlds locally or online would also be a great thing to have. If online multiplayer weren't a thing or a possibility, being able to share your world would be the next best thing. So that is a wrap on all my update predictions. Before I close out this video, comment down below what feature you would have liked to see in Minecraft 3DS before its discontinuation. And with that being said, thanks for watching.